What is up, everyone? Welcome to Limp-Cryptid. Thank you. I'm the host, Axel. I want to submerge your senses, get the gears grinding for all the truth seekers out there into everything strange, paranormal, and supernatural. So I have been traveling and am going to do some more traveling in the Midwest to gather encounters of the strange, paranormal, and supernatural. This next one comes from Nate. Nate, currently unemployed, is living in central Minnesota, and mid-August 2024, he believes he's had what we call a Dogman experience. Now, we want to make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we want to encourage Nate and everyone to come forward with their encounters. So let's cheer Nate on, though he's not here in studio. We want to cheer him on, make sure he knows listening that we care about his encounter. So please, everyone, clap, cheer. Okay, Nate, hope you appreciate that a little bit. Now, here's a little bit of Nate's encounter. All right. Well, Nate, he's currently unemployed, living with his parents, and kind of part of the way he pays his rent is doing yard work. I mean, it's very simple. It's a big property. Granted, it's a little bit of a mowed section on a bigger forested section. So you got about maybe an acre or two that is mowed versus the 10-acre lot that's just forested completely. The nice thing about his property is in this mowed section, there's a pond/lake. It's pretty big. Uh, Definitely every single night you see deer, raccoons, all sorts of game coming to it. This is what he said pretty typically. We had the chance to go over this encounter with him and his father because that's actually how this encounter happened. What he believes is that this thing had been watching him more than one day. He's been whacking trees down, shearing the branches, cutting all the limbs down, bring them in a pile so that they all can be fit into a specific trailer that they have. They cut down logs and they keep them aside the pond, next kind of to the wood line over there, about 5 feet away from the actual wood line, but further away from the fire pit and on the other side of the pond. So you got their house, you got their backyard, the fire pit, you got the pond over on one side, and on the other side of the pond, you got the stack of logs that they've been making. Well, it's getting pretty late. The sun has actually passed below the tree line, so everything's starting to get shadowy and dark. And Nate, now he's been going through a lot. I mean, in life, he's had quite a few things happen to him all at once. And so he's pretty much just happy to be at home, kind of resetting his mind, whacking these trees all day, completely in the zone. When he finally gets the tree dropped, all the branches had broke and as it hit the ground, it's the one really close to the lake. The tree now is down to these logs, and he's stacked the trailer that he's getting ready to bring over to the log pile. And his father pretty much says, I'm done. I've had a pretty busy day. The sun's setting. Let's get inside. He's like, no. Nate's like, no, I don't want to. Father's like, all right, well, I'm at least going in, taking a break, calling it that. Let's go. Join me if you want later, whatever. And Nate says, all right, Dad, I'm going to finish this log pile and see about coming in after that. So he takes a lawnmower, drives the log pile all the way around the lake, the pond thing, whatever. He gets to the log pile. He starts setting stuff down. Now, this is about 15 minutes after his dad hadn't gone inside. He's to the log pile. The log pile isn't necessarily high. It's pretty wide, but it's about chest high. Chest high to me is about 4.5 feet, give or take. We got to see how exactly the forest goes into like a darker section and down into a ravine where it's just so thick you can't even really get through it without like a machete or a hatchet, or you pretty much clearing your way first. Uh, the crazy thing is there's a lot of downed branches everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Uh, in the forest where he actually heard this and seen this encounter. Now Nate, he's thrown the logs on there about 15, 20 minutes after his father's gone inside, and he starts kind of getting this weird feeling like, hey, look up, like, pay attention. He just has this feeling. And he's looking around, things are a little strange, he doesn't hear anything, and then that dawns on him. He's like, wait, I don't hear anything. There's nothing else. I mean, he said there was no smell. He said, I just heard nothing. And then all of a sudden, there's a big old howl. And it kind of startled him because it was the only noise he had heard in about that 10, 15-second time frame since he had started paying attention. He kind of just wanting to hurry up and throw the wood on the pile or just dump the trailer and get back out of there, because it's one of those trailers where it can actually unhitch it and it lifts up so you can lift dirt or whatever in it, whatever you have you. He kind of gets this weird sense of pay attention. So yeah, like I said, he's getting this weird sense of pay attention to the woods. He heard the howl, and every everything else is still quiet, and he's looking in the woods, and he hears what sounds like a branch break, and he's like, I swear, at that point in time, I wanted to piss my pants. I wanted to run, but it's like you're frozen, and what you want to know, you just have to know what that is. And so you're frozen and you want to go, but you need to know, but you need to go, and you know you need to go, but you know you want to know. And so he's stuck in this limbo. He tells me that's when an enormous amount of branch breaking had occurred, just one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. And he said it really sounded like it was raining trees, but it was sounded like it was coming closer to the wood pile. So he's startled and he's actually shaken. He didn't hear any other noises but these branch breaks. And all of a sudden, he hears like, dun, like something hit the ground right in front of him. Not a branch break this time, but a thud, like a heavy, heavy thud, almost like the entire tree hit the ground, but without making a cracking noise. So he's kind of confused and he's staring in there. And that's when two yellow dots appear. And he's completely taken off by this. He has never seen anything with glowing eyes before. I mean, I haven't either. I mean, only an eye shine. Of course, the light was on the porch behind the deck, behind the pond, you know. So it's very possible, but slimly possible that it was that light or any light source of his. He he was a little bit freaked out, and that's when he heard this just extremely guttural, low pitch, which completely freaked him out. And he, at that point in time, he said, no, I didn't want to know anymore. I wanted to run. But the only thing that I could feel was my legs about to give on me. So the growl had happened, and he's thinking this, and of course, all this is happening over the course of just a couple of seconds. And just then, right when that thing's two yellow eyes kind of starting to get beady, like something's really narrowing in on him. His dad shouts, "Hey, Nate, you out there still?" He wasn't 100% sure exactly what he yelled. He's like, "Hey, Nate, I need to get you in here. Hey, Nate, what's going on?" But to get Nate's attention, Nate, he, at that point in time, sees these two yellow dots dart up and look at the deck up there. And he's kind of wave of relief just lifted completely off of him. And he turns it, ditches everything, and books it. He's like, "I'm faster than that lawnmower. I booked it." He gets to the porch. He's completely white, disheveled, and his dad's like laughing completely at him. He's like, "Oh, what? You see a bear?" And he's like, "No, Dad, there was something out there. Something growled at me." His dad told me this actually several days after the actual encounter. He's like, "Yeah, I actually saw it, and I saw it kind of gripping the trees like it was about to lunge at my son. It was just this black shadow, but you could see two branches coming off like it was about to pounce, and it looked like a dog, but it also looked like a person, just completely black." And he's like, "I saw those yellow lights and right beyond that, and I completely freaked out for my son's life. I yelled, 'Nate, get in here,' or whatever the heck I yelled." But of course, I didn't want to tell him that because I wasn't sure he had saw it. I just wanted to make sure he was safe. So, everybody, again, this is Nate in central Minnesota. This encounter of what we believe to be Dogman is pretty recent. Want to make sure that no one is ashamed or scared to come forward with their encounters of the paranormal and supernatural. I really enjoy interviewing people with true encounters and their locations. Thank you again for everyone tuning in. It's Axel. Hopefully I submersed your senses, ground your gears for you truth seekers out there. Thank you again for everyone tuning in. It's Axel. Hopefully I submersed your senses, ground your gears for you truth seekers out there. Stay tuned. Another episode coming soon.